My name is Green Guerrillas. We're in the South Peninsula, an urban agricultural farm, bio-integrated. And today we have focused on learning how to grow 40% of our food, harvesting 100% of our organic matter, our waste, using 3% of our water. And that's what we've done today on the farm. Growing food is entwined in our DNA. Our connection to nature, it's always been there, we know it's there. But it feels that, we've been sort of separated and we've sort of been drifted apart from nature. And so the Green Guerrillas philosophy is dancing with nature. I'm not the perfect dancer, and sometimes I stand on nature's toes. So it's based on being able to dance with nature and to gravitate to learn by doing. Learning by doing, making friends with failure along the way, but inevitably being able to have a sustainable future moving forward, and that is to be able to grow your own food. The course today is because everything is about soil. Soil is the base of all human life. Everything's going to start with soil. Soil health and our health run parallel. Malnutrition starts in the soil. And it's kind of presenting it in a digestible manner that is easy to kind of understand, and to showcase a recipe, and I call it the cake mix recipe. To be able to present it to people and say, look, take this and take that and put that over there and sprinkle a bit of fairy dust and water on it, and whoop, this is what's going to happen. So it is kind of almost showing that composting is not that scary, and all the horror stories that we've heard from composting, but it all's going to start with soil, and giving people confidence to get their hands dirty, to have gentle hands, to have the confidence to be able to produce soil, because that's where it really starts. It all starts with soil. As mentioned, we are not creators, we're facilitators, and to be able to be a really good facilitator, it's going to start with the soil. I've certainly seen a gravitational pull where people of all walks of life, regardless to what book they read, are moving to wanting to grow their own food, but they are frustrated and challenged because they don't know how, and they try it and it doesn't work, and they kind of give up. They go to a nursery, they get some cheap soil, they put something in that's on life support, and it just fricks, and then they're like, oh, I can't, I've got no green fingers, I kill plastic plants, and they end it there. So certainly the people that I thought that haven't been on now, but they are still stuck in that, perhaps in that paradigm shift where they're unable to move forward because they are being boxed by the lack of the how-to part. So when I ask somebody and I say, do you grow your own food? They said, no, I don't. And I say, but why don't you grow your own food? They'll say, I don't have space, I don't have time, and I don't have money, and I don't know how. But usually the first one that comes up is space. So people say, well, my garden is too small. And I say, but we are specialists. We can do it in a smaller space. Then they might say, well, I don't have time. And I say, but look, about 10 minutes a week to grow microgreens, you come and surely you could squeeze it in. And they say, well, I don't have money. And we'll say, well, you don't have to go drop 5,000 Rand at the local nursery. You could actually get a packet of seed for like 20 Rand. But I think that the most challenging part, I feel personally, is that there is no cookie cutter, and especially for us in the Western Cape, it's a lot different than growing in Mpumalanga or growing in Northwest. It's very, very different. So the challenges are more severe here in the Western Cape, and it's kind of getting people starting right, and that's getting their soil right, starting with their soil, and that's the way to go. Yeah. I think primarily the first part is for us to see organic waste as a precious resource, to see waste that it took so much effort to make that tomato. So much water, whether it's chemical or organic, it doesn't matter. It took so much effort, so much input. And to see it as something that we can just throw in a bin, that is something that I'm looking to redefine and say that that we need to be looking at having a bigger net of being able to capture this precious resource. When the rain comes down, and the farmers love the rain, we put our buckets out and we capture everywhere we can because it's a precious resource. So we need to see, as we see how we look at water, we need to see organic matter and the stuff that we call OMA, auxiliary organic matter. And there will be that part. And the other part is that everyone can grow food, everyone. And I think that with regards to the youth, our children have been engineered out of nature. They have been specifically engineered to be disconnected from nature. And that's not going to happen on my shift. So everything that I can do, if I'm going to burn my fingers to the ground, I will do it. But everything that I can do to promote, to advocate, to inspire, to show a direction for the youth, because they are going to be inheriting quite a broken earth. Our mistakes, the things that we didn't fix, and it starts with them, and seeing growing food as a life skill, because growing food is a life skill and it's a very important life skill, and we're completely ignoring it. We've stepped away from it, and to me that's horrifying. That's more horrifying than anything on our planet, is the fact that our children are disconnected with nature. How does a brown cow that eats green grass produce white milk? You know, it's like, how does that all happen? So yes, it's about education, and I feel that education is 50% of the way forward. You know, whatever we look at, we've got to look at education and say, well, I want to grow my own food. Well, take my budget and let's put 50% on education and 50% on seeds and poles and wheelbarrows. And that combination, I feel, is the right direction to follow through on.